What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Mr. Money Invest. Today we have a very special guest on our show. He is no other than the Executive Director and the Group CEO of MST Golf, which is slated for IPO pretty soon. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ng.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Quite exciting.
MST Golf, no doubt it is one of the largest golf retailers in Malaysia. Can you just share with us how did you start this business?
It's actually purely by chance.
Purely by chance? Wow.
And it's back then. This is many years ago. And the company started in 1989 with my childhood friend, KP Low, whom we grew up together in a small town in Sekinjan. If you like seafood, you probably know where Sekinjan is. Went to same primary, high, secondary and university together. After graduated, and we both felt like want to go into our own business. And he came back to Malaysia, work as a mechanical engineer. So I actually stayed back and worked as a civil engineer in New York area. So we started a company and tried to do trading between Malaysia and US, and tried a couple of products. Wasn't that successful. And then one day, Sunday, I remember, I was reading a New York Times and seeing a classified ads, looking someone selling 5,000 used club for $1 each, you know. And I know at the point in time, KP had mentioned that golf is getting a bit crazy. Just bear in mind, and at the point in time in the late 1980s and early 1990s, most of golf courses in Malaysia today are built at that period of times. So there's practically it's the first golf boom in Malaysia. So I called KP and said, KP, what do you think of this used club, 5,000 pieces, only $1 each, what can go wrong? And he said, yeah, let's try. And then that's how we started. And and it was in the Fifth Avenue, Midtown, New York City. It's a pawn shop. And I went there, rented a U-Haul van and shipped everything back to here. And that's how we started.
Right.
Not as golfers, know nothing about golf. And have been quite a eventful journey so far.
Right. That pretty much sounded like how me and Peter started this as well, because both of us are also childhood friends, and then we came out, then we decided to do this media business together. Well, so after so many years, right, I think today MST Golf is not just selling golf clubs anymore. It is not like a pawn shop or whatnot. So can you explain to us what is MST today?
We are known as a retailer, and we actually involve various aspects of golf businesses. And the retail is still a backbone of our business. 80% of our revenue come from retails. We've been very focusing on how to continue evolving and elevate our retail standard, retail store concepts. And beyond that, we are serving the same customer base demographics, and we also venture into other golf services. Primarily, again, still to promote, play more golf. We venture into golf academy so that people can play better golf, and they play more golf, enjoy more, and hence they buy more product in our retail stores. So we also do custom fitting. Recently invested in indoor golf, again to promote play more golf. When people play more golf, chances are they buy more products. So basically, we involve various sector golf academies, event management, corporate merchandise. And we recently also get into golf media.
Media?
Yeah, a little bit. And just to tell the story more to the non-golfer as well, and to promote golf as much as we can.
So can I say that the remaining 20% of your business where it is not from retailing, the revenue comes from all these initiatives to pull non-golfers to become golfers, and then from there, then they will go into your retail side of business, and that's where you capture the revenue from there.
Yes, we also do wholesales because
wholesale. Okay.
We are the distributor for many key brands, and it's a brand that everybody wants. And therefore, we also do wholesale to other retailers. And most of the retailers in Malaysia is actually also our customers.
Oh, okay. Since you talk about all those brands, right, I want to ask, what is your relationship with the brands? Do you have like exclusive kind of thing, or do you just do consignment for them? What kind of relationship is that?
We most of the brand, we actually have a lot of distributorship. So over the years, and I still remember early days, we tried to get some distributorship. It was hard. Most of the distributorship was taken by a lot of Singaporean company. We all know Singapore are far better training nation than Malaysia, the infrastructures and tax system and so forth. And we're happy that today MST Golf is probably the most the golf company have most distributorships. So a lot of brands that we work with, we either go with the distributorship or as the preferred retail partners, whereby we actually get the distributor margins. The whole thing is we want to get as high a margin as possible and go straight to do our own retail. And brands like global brands, sport brand like Nike, Puma, Under Armour, even though they have their local offices here and they do their mono brand stores, when it comes to golf, they actually leave to us. We become their exclusive golf partner, so to speak. So we're happy, and it's a very strong relationship, long track record over the years, 20 over years, 30 years with the brands. And it's very important because we are a multi-brand retailer and specialists. We actually work very closely with all these key brands, apparels or soft good global sport brand, or the sport golf brand like TaylorMade and Mizuno and Honma, Yamaha, and so forth.
So can I say that because of the size of MST Golf, therefore you are able to negotiate a better pricing for yourself?
I think it's a lot to do with how we approach, how we see, how we present, and we actually provide a retail solution for the brands. And because our retail concept and our big format stores and allow brand to come in, we will create a brand corners or brand shop in shop, and therefore brand will come in to able to deliver their brand experience. I think that's the most important, beside the size, and of course the size matter for them. And as a distributor, also there is certain expectation from brand that we cover whole Malaysia, and they leave it to us to run, and we had to meet some commitment to them. But again, the most important thing, brands come to us because we do provide a retail solution for the brands, and this is the key factors.
Yeah. Just now you also briefly mentioned about the margin. That caught my attention. So can you roughly share what is the margin like in your MST Golf business? Like GP margin, that kind of stuff.
Consistently, we maintain above 40% of GP margins, and over the years, that's because we actually have a direct distributorship, and the brand will come to us, also give us as high a margin as possible, so we are able to maintain and relatively high margin in that respect.
You have a very good relationship with your brands, but on the other hand, then how do you entice customers to come to shop in MST?
We actually very consumer focused. Our internal working goal for the front end staff, so to speak, is to serve the customer beyond expectation. So we have to keep ahead of what consumer wants and expectation, what the industry and then local demand and so forth. So we actually evolving over the years. You can see we never stop evolving our stores and concept and keep elevating. And again, it's where the consumer expectation, and Malaysia is still not a so-called advanced golfing nation like of US, Japan, UKs and Australias and so forth. Therefore, things like custom fitting, right? And many years ago, it was quite popular in those more advanced golfing nations. When the market not ready, we don't roll out. But when you think that market about to ready, and we go out to provide proper custom fitting. And hence, I think beginning of last year, we actually brought in to me personally, probably the most advanced golf academy in the world, where their golf academy main bulk of their focus also looking into custom fitting, which I think we can meet the consumer needs. And again, it's really go after what consumer wants, and beside the nice stores, big store format, and also working closely with brand to do activation in our stores as well.
Yeah, so from what you say, I think I picked up a little bit about your strategy over there. So you always explore, experiment, and when the time is right, then you push, explode, boom, like that.
We kind of know where the golf market is globally. It's we are very focused. We're specialists. We know what is happening in the US and Japan and Korea, some of those more advanced country.
Yeah, then one day you expect that trend to come to Malaysia as well.
And we always keep ahead of ourselves
Okay.
and understand. And it's more matter of when is right time to execute and implement what is relevant to our markets.
I see. And I understand that one way for you to attract customers is also you have this loyalty program. And from my understanding is that this loyalty program is something quite important in your business also. Maybe you can help us to understand a little bit better.
We started this loyalty program many years back, I think 2005, I remember. And we named it as I Love Golf. It's more really about the golfer than us. It's a golf community we try to create. It is a key asset. We have a detailed database of our customers. So we rely on our data quite heavily in terms of direct marketing and also targeted marketing. It's been very effective. We can see the trend and we can see what golfer likes and in which brand and why this is happening and so forth. We have about over 90,000 of members, active members. Total membership were over 130,000, both Malaysia and Singapore combined. In fact, this loyalty program is very important. Our total retail sales, combined both Malaysia and Singapore, over 70% actually are to our members. Directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
and because we have a lot bigger membership in Malaysia, almost 90% of business go to our members. So you can see our relationship with our member are very strong. So we're happy. We'll continue to grow these memberships and provide more benefit to our members.
Is it because you push a lot of promotions to your members, so they are attracted to always come back to MST to exploit that promotion?
Promotion is one thing. Over the years, we have also looked into what golfer actually really like. And in the early day, we also have a lot of other merchants coming in, like restaurants, spas, and hotels, and so forth. But eventually, we found out that our member actually not so keen and interested on this. Then we focus back to what matters in the golf. So we provide golf tournaments for our members. Of course, we have a lot of preview activation, members days, and we also tie up with a lot of golf courses for our members to play golf courses at the lower rate, which is very popular, again, to play more golf in that sense. So those are key benefits that our members are looking for.
Right. So anything you need about golfing, MST's membership is the way to go.
You got it.
Okay. Yes, you are doing great. You are doing fine. Business is growing and all that. But there are also more and more players coming into this golf retail space. How do you defend your position in this environment?
We see ourselves as a golf specialist. There is not many golf specialists retailers, especially in the regions. And that's why we work very closely with brands, and brands actually are behind us because we are a true golf specialist. So that's a bit different between golf specialists and just normal golf stores. I put it in such a way. And in our case, we see ourselves as a full-serve retail platform compared to other retailer, maybe a self-serve. And therefore, when you want to go full-serve, our staff must be knowledgeable. So we have various rank of our staff coming from in retail staff, coming in as a retail associate to senior associate to a section supervisor and to a shop supervisor, and can go into a apparel specialist and go into a consultant and senior golf consultant, and then to be a fitters. And various positions have various skill and knowledge they need to have before they can be in that position. So every promotion our staff go through, they have to acquire certain skill to fit that position. So we provide the training for that as well. So there's a whole holistic approach of how we is supposed to be successful.
And beginner friendly as well.
Yes, successful as well. A big challenge to recruit some new people to golf. Wow, I don't know golf, why am I going to golf retail? So we actually put it in such a way that you actually will learn something beyond. It's a lifestyle, lifelong skill. We provide a free training, at least to get you to play golf. If whatever reason you will leave MST Golf after working for a couple of years, you actually become a golfer. And also our customers are, by the way.
So in a way, you're training your own customers in the future. Great. MST Golf, again, today it's the largest player in Malaysia, 52% market share. At 52% market share, it just means that it's a little bit difficult to grow further. The push will be harder. So having said that, what is your plan to grow your Malaysia operation?
I genuinely believe the golfer are underserved because of the nature of business. There's still opportunity for us to grow in Malaysia. And in fact, quite a big sum of fund we put in to grow in Malaysia and Singapore as well. We have mapped out to grow additional 15 locations in Malaysia, Singapore combined, whereby 13 in Malaysia and 2 in Singapore.
Oh, 13 in Malaysia.
Yeah, and
wow.
for next 3 years. So there's still a few key more. We're going to open in Seraman and later this year. Again, there's a big catchment. We have a lot of members coming from Seraman, and they shop in our KL stores. Just imagine that how often they come to KL to shop. If we put our store closer to them, and they can go literally every week or as and when they have time, and chances are they will buy more to us. So that's the reason we want to bring our golf store closer to our consumer. And again, we would validation from our database and where our membership spread. And usually we go to a new area, new town, our member so-called increment will much faster. We're getting more new members. So definitely there are still room to grow in Malaysia as well as in Singapore.
To set up 13 stores, of course, the capex is not going to be cheap, right? But if you look at Malaysia, are there really that many golfers to serve at the first place?
Golf, you still talk about as an elite sports. We are not a mass market sport, not a mass market retailer as well. You know, the investment in golf is huge. You look at the infrastructure, $1 billion of ringgit and put into to build the golf courses. In Malaysia, we have 200 over golf courses, and to build this is a huge infrastructure in place, and the occupancy in the golf courses is actually fairly low. So there's a lot of room to grow, frankly speaking. The infrastructure all there. People like us and also we're working with brand to see how we promote, how we get into to open up golf to more populations. In fact, our participation rate as a country versus the population is still relatively low compared to other countries, but we actually have enough golf courses to cater. So to us, obviously, there is room to grow. We just need to lower the entry barrier to bring in new golfers, and which of late we have seen many younger golfers, also ladies coming to golf.
You mentioned that the population of golfers overseas are more compared to Malaysia, and I think that's one of the reasons why you're going overseas as well, right? So can you share what is your strategy outside of Malaysia?
We're very excited about the Southeast Asia market. We have mapped out as part of this IPO exercise to cater enough fund. In fact, to speed up the overseas expansion, and we have promised our brands, and many brands actually push us to go overseas because go to other country in Southeast Asia, again, because we provide a retail solution for them to do our expansion in faster rate. And country like Indonesia, Thailand and Vietnam, they all have different landscape. You know, I really like Indonesia. It's such a big country, 200 million population, the fourth largest population in the world, and their economy is growing, as you're aware, and by the exponential way of growing, and it's very exciting. We were in Jakarta a few times, and I really like the demographic there is much younger, and they all dress up nice, and caps and belts and full apparel, nice shoes, and we can see the spending power much stronger. In fact, much stronger than Malaysia, and so we're actually very excited about Indonesia with the up and coming economic giant. It's awakening, and then the amount of the golf infrastructure is fantastic in Indonesia as well. And the other side on Thailand, Thailand actually see golf is more like a sports, and there are two number one ladies golfer in the world actually. Thai. If you go to Thai, you will see a lot more younger boys and girls are playing golf. So it's different demographics. Thailand has the biggest golf population and also the most golf courses. Over 300 over golf courses, and you know Tiger is half Thai, so there's a lot of icon or to look upon, and therefore plus Thailand also is the golf tourism destination in South Asia, very popular. So it's the biggest market by far in South Asia. And where Vietnam, it's up and coming, and they probably is one or if not the country that building most golf courses today in the world, because the government is putting an effort to try to be the next golf tourism destination in Southeast Asia. So they put a lot of effort to build new golf courses. Therefore, it takes another different dynamic to have up and coming golfers in Vietnam. So we are very excited.
Right, so it feels like Malaysia in the 90s now, right?
Yes,
now,
yes,
in Vietnam.
In Vietnam,
right.
In a sense, yes.
Okay, the landscape in Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, very vibrant, I understand that. But what about the retail space in those countries? Are they also like self-serve kind of model, whereby people must have the golfing knowledge and then they go and choose what kind of equipment that they like? Or there are some players who are like MST Golf in Malaysia like that?
I would say our retail concept will be, it's quite unique, and we are regarded by the brands one of the best golf retailer in the world, which we are very surprised and pleased to hear that. With our few recent opening, we kind of the brands, and this brand travel everywhere in the world. They see most of the best golf retail shop in the world. So without saying much about other players, we are actually very confident. Last year we started a total golf retail concept where we deliver a total retail experience where we actually would have our retail superstore combined with our golf lab, which is the most advanced academy and custom fitting. We have indoor golf arena, and I hope many of golfers been to golf arena. If not, please drop by. And this 3-in-1 concept actually is none, as far as I know, in this region or in the world. And so we're actually very excited. And we also know all the retailers. We have been in the business for over 30 years. It's fairly close industry. We kind of know each other. When we go for brand meeting, we bump into each other. In fact, in the case of Indonesia, most of retailers, we actually wholesale tailor-made brands. We are a tailor-made distributor in Indonesia, so we actually wholesale to them. So we know quite well who they are. So we are comfortable, able to go to the space and compete.
Right, you know them, they also know you, ma. So do you think they are preparing themselves for your arrival there?
Some do. Some ask a lot of questions. There's one particular brand, couple of other countries, the retailer would talk to the brand, say, MS is coming to my country. Will you supply to him? Is it the brand will respond? In fact, the brand told me that. Yes, of course. They are the best retailer in the region, and they are our biggest customer as well as the whole region. Based in Malaysia and Singapore, if they come to this country, we will definitely support them. But you shouldn't be afraid of them. When they come, definitely they will elevate the whole golf industry, to make the golf industry more accessible, more exciting. You should embrace it and create a bigger industry for everybody.
Then more people will start playing golf, and
so I guess this is
bigger.
I'm pleased that the brand actually speak on our behalf, and I can sense there are some concern of other retailers going to space, but those retailers are long in the business, and I'm sure they are own customers. So that's enough for everyone to go around. I feel.
How much money are you putting in your overseas expansions in terms of your IPO proceeds?
Main reason for IPO is really for expansions, and we have put in, I think, 85% of our proceeds received by the company for expansion in Malaysia, Singapore, and also in regional expansion. It shows in perspective what we need to do in Indonesia, 2 stores next year, and Thailand the following years, and Vietnam. To us, this is probably the most conservative or the minimum we will do. And internally, we actually have far better or more aggressive plan, and because the market is there, and when we expand, we want to expand as quick as possible. And very importantly, also in each country we are expanding. If I can go further on this, is we will look for a very strong local retailer as our partners. So in the case of Indonesia, we have done an MOU and also announced it. Our JV partner will be Ella Jaya Group. They are a big group listed in Jakarta Stock Exchange. And I think 2022 revenue as a group, I think $3.3 billion. Big company. They have way over 1,000 retail locations. They are not in golf, but they are a strong retailer. So that's why we are looking for such a partner who have no issue with funding, no issue with the governance, compliance, because they are also a PLC, and as well as a retail understanding of logistic, of distribution, logistic importation for retail business. And also we will tap them on human resources. Important to know how to hire right staff for retail sectors. So those are the key factor we actually going in for a JV partner with a very strong retail background in each countries.
It sounds that you have a lot of expansion plans, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, and everything is going on at the same time, right? How should I look at your company? Is it a growth company or is it a steady, matured kind of business? Because on one hand, the first part of the session, it feels more like a mature business, but right now it feels like, wow, growth business.
We've been in the business for over 30 years, and we are very stable, also very solid business in Malaysia and Singapore. Singapore operation is very important because it's another country, and we have proven that we can manage Singapore successfully, and very profitable business in Singapore. And we just opened 2 big superstore in Singapore last year, and also doing very well. So we have enough experience to grow expansion. So come back to your question, is really we do have already a very stable business, and we are number 1 in Malaysia, and we think we also there in Singapore. But our next phase of growth really is the regional expansion. Again, that's primarily the reason we're going for IPO. If you want to invest in MST Golf, really to look for us as become a regional powerhouse in the golf retail space. We actually set a fairly high target where we want to be in the next 5 years as a regional basis, and so this is only start of next phase. Exciting time ahead of us.
So if they invest in MST Golf, can they expect a dividend or not?
Yes. We actually have 30% dividend payout policies.
And with the growth, the 30% payout will be larger over time, right?
We definitely hope so, yes.
Okay, so Mr. Ng, what PE valuation is MST Golf going to be listed at?
The research done by the RHB, our principal bank, on the fair value of the company basing on 2024 figures after a year of our operation in Indonesia. I think the key story is on regional expansion. So they put the fair value after FYE 2024. So if we would use the 2022 figures, FYE 2022, the PE ratio is 24.9 times.
I noticed there's some discrepancy there when Mr. Ng told us that the valuation of the company is 24.9 times PE against what the prospectus tells us, which is at 27 times. What happened there? Let me explain. So MST Golf is going to be listed on Bursa Malaysia at 81 cents per share, right? Taking into account that the EPS per share is at 3 cents per share, then yes, the PE valuation of this company would be 81 cents per share divided by 3 cents per share. It will be listed at 27 times PE. But what Mr. Ng is trying to tell us is this. If you take the profit after tax minus minority interest of 26.65 million, divide by the total number of issued shares, which is 820,868,600 shares, then the EPS is actually at 0.0325. And if you use these earnings per share against the listing price of 81 cents per share, then the PE now becomes 24.9 times. And that's what Mr. Ng was trying to tell us. So technically speaking, if you are subscribing to MST Golf's IPO, you are actually getting it at a cheaper valuation. MST Golf is slated for IPO on the 20th of July this year. Mr. Ng, is there any last words to the potential investors out there and to our audience as well?
We have a quite long roadshow to meet all investors, and there are some actually literally looking for our next quarter and next quarter's earning. What are we going to do in the next 5 years, and who are succession plan, and who's in the company, why in golf, what's possible in golf industry. So I can see differentiation, but if you are really interested on us, please look into a longer term, because there's so much thing we can do in the golf industry. We have solid business going on in Malaysia, Singapore. There's huge potential as well. We are concerned in Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. So we are going out there to deliver. So please do take a longer term view to invest in us, and you will be our beloved so-called investor. Hopefully you become our customer and iLago member as well. All right?
All right, all the best in your IPO. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
All right.